Imagine you are a saber-toothed tiger, a top predator of the Ice Age. BC awesome. From the moment you're born, you live in the shadow of these giants, but that's not a big problem. Eventually, they will all become your prey. You are born around 2 million years BC on a frozen plain that will later be known as North America. Actually, you're not sure where you are. After all, when you're just born, your eyes are still shrouded in darkness. But don't worry, your mother is right beside you. Her enormous body presses against you like a personal hot water bottle. When you're hungry, your mother will casually press you into her embrace, letting you suckle sweet milk. While it's no gourmet feast, it's enough to keep your small life going. This is your world as a saber-toothed cub, warm, dark, and filled with the scent of milk. You just don't know yet that these peaceful days will soon be shattered. About a week later, your eyes finally open. You size up the world for the first time and think it's nothing special. The cave is dim and crowded, packed with your family of 5. It feels like living in a pile of rubble. Your 3 now it's 2. Siblings are just as confused as you are. You paw at each other with clumsy little claws, playfully wrestling until you're all in a tangled heap. Thankfully, your mother is there to make sure you're fed and warm. To be honest, she can only guarantee to keep you alive, not necessarily well cared for. If your parents can't catch enough prey, you and your siblings will have to go hungry. Just as you're thinking this, your father returns. It looks like he just led the pack in taking down a group of mammoths. As it turns out, your father is the decision maker of the family. When to hunt, when to eat, well, he calls all the shots. A few months later, your parents decide it's time to teach you the ways of survival in the Ice Age. You watch your father hunt. He can casually open his mouth to 120 degrees. His 2 long dagger-like canine teeth plunge into the prey's neck with a single bite. He's a walking killing machine. You mimic him, scanning the snowy plains, and suddenly spot a rabbit. You sneak up behind it like a little mouse and then pounce. A perfect miss. The rabbit seems to laugh at you. You lie there embarrassed and look back to see your parents whispering to each other. They've probably never seen such a clumsy cub. Fortunately, you gradually get the hang of it. Although the process is still painful to watch, you learn an important lesson. Being a predator isn't just about sharp teeth and a fierce look. You also need patience. You learn to wait for the perfect moment to deliver a fatal blow. Yes, right now. A year passes quickly. Your father finally moves you from the bench to the starting lineup. It's time for a big hunt. Imagine it's like the prehistoric Super Bowl. But instead of scoring touchdowns, you're trying to take down a creature 10 times your size, all while praying it doesn't stomp your face in. Soon, you and your family target a giant ground sloth. After quietly planning your strategy, your father charges forward without hesitation, locking onto the sloth with a powerful move. At the same time, your mother precisely bites its thigh. You and your siblings rush in to finish the job. The sloth has almost no power to resist and goes down in minutes. In the cold, satisfying silence, you all feast. It's not a refined meal either. But this is the first time in weeks the whole family has had a full stomach. Life goes on peacefully until one day you return to the cave and find a new crying Fae. It seems there's no food left for you at home. At this moment, you realize it's time to strike out on your own. Unfortunately, you haven't yet grown into a formidable, independent hunter. As you crawl out of the den, dejected, you find you're not the only one who has been pushed out. At first, you and your 2 siblings stick together for warmth. To start, you manage to get by half-fed, but this situation doesn't last long. Cracks begin to appear in your small group. Due to the extreme scarcity of food, hunger eventually turns siblings into bitter rivals. Once, after catching a wild rabbit, your sister gets too close and you instinctively become protective of your food, snarling over the carcass. After a few similar incidents, the bond between the 3 of you is completely broken. You each go your separate ways. For the first time in your life, you are truly alone, but it doesn't matter. The harsh environment has made you stronger, faster, and more cunning. Your body has fully evolved. Your muscles have bulked up, stretching your frame. You've grown to 5 feet long, and your signature saber teeth have lengthened, gleaming with a cold light. Not only that, but your sense of smell has become exceptionally sharp, able to catch even the faintest scent of life. You are no longer a soft cub, but an adolescent, finely tuned saber-toothed tiger, capable of facing greater challenges. The sun rises. You mark a prey-rich grassland, attempting to claim this territory as your own. You claw at tree trunks and spray your scent around. However, this risky move is seen as a declaration of war by other predators. It seems it's not yet time to challenge the authorities. You are forced to move to an area with less competition. The prey isn't plentiful, but it's enough to survive. Time passes. Several fierce battles have left their marks on you, but they have also shed your immaturity. You've grown into an adult saber-toothed tiger, a lean and ferocious prehistoric killing machine. At this age, your canines have grown to an astonishing 20 centimeters. Unfortunately, they're so long that with every powerful bite, there's a risk of hitting bone and breaking a tooth, but it's not a big problem. You are still a top predator. A few more months pass, you meet a beautiful female saber-toothed tiger, and it seems to be love at first sight. Well, you know the rest of the story. You now team up to claim a new territory, and soon you have your own small family. You lead your family to hunt various large animals, mammoths, giant sloths, whatever tastes good. Your life has reached its peak. The family's prosperity and the continuation of your bloodline are as solid as a rock. The world is finally yours to rule. Until one day, you encounter a group of strange creatures. They move in organized groups. You have never seen such creatures before. They are not particularly large or fast, but the way they move makes you uneasy. Their steps are coordinated, like a wolf pack, but without the howling. You lower your body, ears flattened, observing them from the bushes. At this moment, they are also hunting, just like you, but they don't use claws or teeth, but something longer and sharp. Suddenly, one of them turns abruptly, his gaze locking onto you like a searchlight. An inexplicable fear floods your heart. You want to retreat stealthily, but it's too late. They throw something that cuts through the air with a whoosh. It flies past your ear. Fear freezes you for a moment, then you break into a frantic run, your claws pounding on the frozen tundra. Behind you, the shouts of those strange creatures rise and fall. After so many years, for the first time, you understand a bone-deep feeling, the terror of becoming the prey.